Hello and welcome to this tutorial video. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to get the extension. The second thing I'm going to show you is how to make beautiful UTMs at lightning speed. And thirdly, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how to customize and develop and edit your own templates, which will be perfect for your business. Let's jump right in with getting the extension. Frankly, it's not rocket science. You just find it on the web store. It's as simple as it looks. Don't forget to rate it 5 stars. And now let's jump in with making some UTMs. You'll notice all I had to do was type C before CPC, or cost per click, would appear. That's because this template can learn from the past, just like Google. When you type in a letter and your past searches are suggested, this template has the same technology and it's a real time saver. And there we have it, just like magic. And now, customization, the most important part, because even though the templates we have are excellent, every business's needs are different. Now here we are in the editing suite. You'll notice that on the left of the screen we have the preview. That's what the user will actually see in the extension. Whereas on the right we have our own editing field where we can change those things. You'll also notice that on the left I still have the word France, which is of course a typo. I meant to type France. And I don't want to make those typos. So what I'm going to do is change that field from a free text field to a buttons field. And simply use the edit button. You'll notice that over on the left side of the screen, the free text field for campaign is now gone. I'm going to replace it with a buttons field. You'll notice that on the left, France is not capitalized, whereas on the right it is. That's because the value on the left is what will actually appear in the output UTM we make, whereas what's on the right is what will appear on the button that we're clicking on. If we uncouple them, we can type whatever we want, but I don't want any of that. I just want the auto-generated one. And just as simple as that, we have a button for France. But of course, that's not too much use on its own. We're only going to want to record where we're advertising something if we're advertising in more than one location. Let's say, for example, that my company also advertises in Germany. And it's just as simple as that. Perhaps I want to record some kind of data that isn't accounted for in this template that I already have. That's okay, it's what customization is for. I'm just going to add a new field there at the bottom. This is like an extra row in my UTM template. For example, let's imagine that the ads I run, I've employed 2 different models, one in each, and I want to keep track of which model is able to sell more of my product or attract more clicks. I'm just going to add a new field, use buttons, and hey presto, it is as simple as that. Let's quickly look at these free text fields. Now these are advantageous because you can type whatever you want in them. You're not just limited to buttons. But of course, buttons are a little bit quicker, and of course you're not going to make spelling mistakes. I said earlier that these templates are able to learn from what's being typed into them. You can see that when you look at these suggestions. With a list of suggestions, you can input them from a file, whereas with history, it'll behave like Google does. It'll recognize what's been typed in before. This can give you a bit of a best of both worlds. It can give you the freedom of a free text field, but also sometimes the speed of the buttons by using suggestions in your free text fields. Now, before we wrap this video up, let's talk very briefly about Google Analytics, because Google Analytics are a service that your business more than likely uses. And in Google Analytics, they're willing to accept 5 data points in every UTM they see: source, median, campaign, turn, and content. That means that every link you generate with a UTM in it that you're going to send to Google Analytics is going to be divided into 5 parts, one for each of these segments. But if you want to record more than just 5 data points, that's actually not a problem. You can just put in more than one piece of information per section. At the moment, we're recording 2 pieces of information under the campaign heading, and we're also recording 2 pieces of information under the content heading. In this case, we're calling them content and model. And it's really important to note the order that they're in. Under campaign, it has Germany followed by the date. If you were doing it manually, you might put them the other way around and then your data would be unusable. Thankfully, with our system, it will always write them in the same order that it's set up to, so you're not going to lose any data this way. So let's recap. We've got the extension, we've used it to make some high speed, high accuracy UTMs, and best of all, we've learned about customization. We've learned about suggestions in text fields, we've learned how to add fields, we've learned how to add options to button fields, and we've learned about concatenation. Now, our software has a lot of other tricks up its sleeve. You can program these templates like really smart spreadsheets and do wonderful, fascinating things. But it's quite advanced and it's for another video. In the meantime, if you have any questions, send it to the address on screen. We have a lot of smart people and we're glad to help you out. See you next time and enjoy tagging.